I was recently given the opportunity to play in the private Splitgate 2 alpha, so come with me on this hike as I tell you all about Splitgate 2. So does Splitgate 2 suck? Absolutely not. This game is probably the best game I have ever played. And it's only in alpha, if you can believe it or not. It's also one of the best looking first-person shooters that I've ever seen in my life. Like, graphics-wise, I do not understand how they did this. It is phenomenal. So if you guys don't know what Splitgate is like if you took Halo or Unreal Tournament and you added the portal mechanic from the Portal games. Yeah, I know what you're saying. That sounds awesome. Well, it actually is really fun. You can still play Splitgate 1 right now. It's available on Steam. But if you just want to wait for Splitgate 2, that is totally understandable. You can go request access on Steam right now and get access to the new alpha starting on August 21st. You don't want to miss it. You want to be part of history. This game will be huge. Huge! So a lot of people want to know what's different in Splitgate 2. Why did they make a second game? Well, later I'll tell you why they needed to make a second game. But for now, I'll just tell you what is different. First off, they added factions. No, it is not a hero shooter. It's a class-based shooter. Each faction gets 3 weapons to choose from, which are all balanced very well. And they each have a small selection of abilities that you can choose from. First up, you have Arrows, which is your speedy little guy. If you played Splitgate 1, this is probably the guy you want to main. And personally, he looks a lot like me. Did you guys see the 6-packs on this guy? Sheesh. Which you got your Sub-Rask faction, which that's your big beefy, kind of tanky guy. All factions do share the same health, by the way, but this guy has a shield and a grenade, and his carbine is super strong. Then you have the Meridian faction, which is basically your support class. I'll just say it has heal grenades. It's pretty fire. You get to play as Mira. Sheesh. I absolutely love this game, and I'm someone who has almost 1,500 hours on the original Splitgate, and even streamers that I saw playing the alpha who didn't play much Splitgate said they loved the game as well. So far, there hasn't been much negativity that I've seen. Everyone is just blown away with how good this game is, and guys, once again, it is only an alpha. This game isn't even coming out till next year. It's going to be amazing. It was really cool, though, during the alpha to get to play against some of the biggest names in gaming. Like, you guys should go check out Jev's video if you haven't seen it already. I'm actually in that video, which is pretty cool. Now, most people don't know much about Splitgate 1's history or why they even need to make a second game. Well, Splitgate 1 was originally created by a couple college students in their dorm room. As you can imagine, there's a bunch of spaghetti code and just things that aren't right, making it hard to build on and all of that fun stuff. Well, if you haven't heard, they received over $100 million in investor funding and have since grown their team to over 100 employees, so now they have all the money and all of the help they need to make the best game in existence. I've been a supporter of Splitgate and its phenomenal dev team and leadership since the year 2020. Now it's only about 4 years, but it feels like ages. And just as a reminder, guys, I will be here for the next 4 years of Splitgate 2. 1047 has an awesome vision, and I believe they are creating the best game to ever exist. That is a big thing to say, but I truly believe it. In the interview with Ian Peru that went live a few days ago, Ian said, every part of the game, it needs to feel fun, no matter what button you're pressing or anything like that, which that's actually going to be in my negative feedback later on in this video. So that's a little bit of foreshadowing. It's actually insane how well this game runs and how well it's optimized. There was a lot of people playing on ultra settings while recording during this alpha, and they were on some pretty old laptops and outdated rigs. So that's just insane to me that a game that can look this phenomenally, that can be optimized that well. The industry has been lying to us, guys. Games can run well. Now, some of the things I didn't like about this game was, one, the time to kill was very fast, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. My mind on this might change later on after more playtime, but it just felt really fast. It could be slowed down a little bit, I think it'd be good. The feel of the carbine, everyone's favorite weapon from Splitgate 1, just feels a little bit off. It still feels a lot like Splitgate 2. I mean, like the damage numbers and all that stuff are still pretty much the same, but it just has this punchy feel like you're playing Halo. It doesn't feel snappy and precise like it does in SG1, but that might not be a bad thing. I'm a hardcore Splitgate 1 player. It's a bad thing to me, but it might not be a bad thing to the general population. So take that with a grain of salt. And then lastly, this is the only complaint I have that like needs to be fixed. Everything else is like, I'll survive. It's still my favorite game if it doesn't get fixed. Would be settings in general and visual settings specifically, which it's just an alpha, I understand that. Most of these settings are probably already planned, but visual clutter is insane. I mean, the graphics look amazing, but we don't need that much. And then some more settings, which like I guarantee you guys already planned for these, would be like custom crosshairs, being able to turn off the sprint crosshair, and also being able to turn on auto sprint. Like I said, in that interview, the CEO himself said that every button you press should be fun to do so. Clicking a button to sprint just does not feel fun. we need auto sprint. As it currently is, it's nearly a perfect game in my opinion, and I cannot wait for the future to see this game finally released. I am so glad to be part of history, being one of the first external players to play this game. Very hyped and grateful to have been given that opportunity. You guys will see me around a lot. I do stream a little bit and make videos. I haven't really been doing that because gaming has just been boring lately, but Splitgate 2 will save us all.